Continuing with the blood typing, let's look at this way. Somebody that has type A blood has A antigens on the surface. So naturally, the type of antibodies they're going to have, they don't want to react with themselves, so they're going to have anti-B. Now, type A is going to react or show clumping when you mix with anti-A. A and anti-A, so antigen, antibody, cause clumping. Somebody with type B blood has B antigens on their surface. Their body is naturally going to produce anti-A. So type B blood is going to react with anti-B antiserum on in a test. Somebody with AB blood has both A and B. So in this case, they are not going to have any, because if they had anti-A or anti-B, they would react with themselves, and that would be bad. So AB blood clumps with both anti-A and anti-B. So a person that has type O, remember this means 0, has 0 antigens on the surface. They may have others, but ones that we care about. They don't have A or B. So they're going to make antibodies for both anti-A and anti-B. So type O blood doesn't clump or agglutinate with any of the anti-serums. All right, because remember, if you don't have any antigens to react with the antibodies, you're not going to get any reaction. All right, so quick review, going over the vocabulary. Antigens, also known as agglutinogens. These are located on the surface of the red blood cell. Antibodies are known as agglutinins. They're located in the plasma of the blood, and they are the ones that are shaped like Ys. That looks like a Yellowstone logo, but it's not. So agglutination means antigen plus antibody equals clumping. All right, so let's work on this in the context of a chart. Okay, so there's several things to deal with. Let's work in columns, and you could also work in rows, but I want to work in columns because I think it's going to reinforce these concepts a little bit better. So type A blood has on its plasma membrane A antigens. That means in the patient's body, they are normally going to have anti-B. Because when they're exposed to anti-A, you're going to get a reaction. All right, carry on. Type B has B antigens on the surface of the red blood cell. In their plasma, they're going to have anti-A. So when we do blood typing, this is going to show a visible reaction when we put anti-B, mix it with their blood. That's what's going to show the clumping. Now, type AB has both A and B antigens. So in order to not react with itself, it's going to have none of these antibodies. Now when we run a blood typing test, it's going to react with both anti-A and anti-B. Type O is the opposite. Type O has 0 antigens on the surface, which means in the plasma, in order to protect itself, it's going to have both anti-A and anti-B. Now when we run a blood typing test, it's going to react with nothing. Now, RH is going to work similarly, it's just a different test. So an RH positive person is indeed going to have an RH antigen. So when it comes to RH, it's not going to have an antibody against RH. In our blood typing, it will respond and result in clumping when we mix it with anti-RH serum. An RH negative person has no RH on there, which means it would have anti-RH in the blood, and it would not react when we put the anti-serum on the blood test.